welcome back, or hello if you're new, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a super simple makeup look. We are not using any foundation, so I'm really excited to do this video for you guys. These are the steps I'd like to take on how to do a super simple makeup look, have healthy skin, but you're not using any foundation. So I figured I would do that today for you guys. Before we get started, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you guys are not a part of the fam already. Thank you guys always for showing me love and your constant support. So be sure to subscribe so you can see future videos. So without further ado, if you guys want to see how I got this makeup look, super simple, let's go ahead and hop right on it. Alright guys, so to go ahead and start off this look, I like to use a few different types of products beforehand, which you totally don't have to use this many or anything like that, but I like to focus on the skin and make sure my skin is really hydrated and prepped and ready for any sort of makeup application. But for this one in particular, since we're not adding too much, I want to make sure my skin is really healthy like. So I'm going to go in with this moisturizer. This one is the Wonder Beauty Dive In Moisturizer. It has amazing moisture and it is like a gel kind of form, and it's pretty lightweight as well, and I feel like it really does moisturize my skin, like it actually does something. So as I rub it in, like it just feels super supple and cooling on the skin. I love it. I'm gonna apply this everywhere. I'm gonna let this kind of sit into my skin for just a little bit. Kind of do that with each one of the products. Just kind of give a little bit of a hold time so it can really sink into my skin and do its thing, you know? I'm going with the primer. This one's the Mercier Foundation Primer. This is their hydrating primer. So I love this on days where I'm not doing a ton of makeup, I'm not wearing a lot of foundation, I'm not really doing a full coverage look. I will use this during full coverage days, but for the non-full coverage days, this is amazing. It has the hydrating factor. It makes my skin feel super moisturized. Now, you totally don't have to use a moisturizer beforehand if you don't want to. I just like taking that extra step to making my skin feel extra supple, extra moisturized. So yes, a hydrating primer for these types of days is amazing. So I'm gonna just put this amount. This one I like to rub in, and then once it kind of settles a little bit, then I will kind of like press into my skin. So this one is just the original strobe cream, and I'm going to apply a little bit. Tap this on the cheekbone area, and I'll do a little bit by my forehead. But I love doing this prior because it gives that like natural radiance kind of look. It's just super natural, and that is totally the route that I want to go. So I forgot to go in with this earlier, but I do want to hide up a little bit of the pores that are right over here, which this is optional, but I definitely want to hide them. So I'm going in with the Wonder Beauty Smooth Sailing Perfecting Primer. These have little like gold flecks in them. I don't know if you can tell. This is obviously going to mattify this area, but this is the area that I get pores. So I'm just going to put it literally right here. Just patting it into my skin. So for this particular look, I'm going in with more of just concealers, really just spot concealing, but a little bit more than I would if I just had like a pimple per se. So it's gonna be more of a spot concealing kind of deal. So first concealer I'm going in with is the new L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. This one's in the shade Cashew. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply it with the applicator first. And I'm gonna kind of just put it here a little bit. Here. I put it in all the spots that I actually conceal while I'm doing my like regular routine. And I'm just gonna kind of hit the areas I have some breakout scars or just breakouts at the moment. A lot of it is just discoloring. It's not really an active breakout. So I'm just gonna kind of do this here. Blend it into the skin, just really pushing it like this. And as I'm blending, I am bringing it down and kind of blending it into the skin. And I'm not just keeping it in the place that I actually placed it in. Like I'm going to kind of just bring it around. Just gonna go in with the sponge and kind of lightly blend on top of it. So the stuff that we put on underneath, it was still kind of dewy. So it's really just sinking it into the skin and like gliding on top of it. I'm also gonna hit the eyelids just a tad with like the leftover. I'm just taking a tiny bit more on this brush and applying it to those areas that I have the like hyperpigmentation, acne little scar, and just really blending that into the skin. And a brush like this will be probably one of your best friends during this process because a sponge I feel kind of removes most of it, it kind of just absorbs into the sponge. But again, you can use anything you would like. So I'm really just going over those areas that I already did. And then I will be going back in with just a little bit more on any other kind of spot where I feel like I have an imperfection. Use my fingers and kind of blend that portion in and kind of like outwards. I did not put any product over here. When I spot conceal, I honestly just start here and blend outwards and kind of just give the remaining product to this area. Literally, it's like the remaining of the face, but I'm not adding additional product. So I'm just hitting a little bit into the intersection of my eye with a little bit more of that concealer because I do have some darkness happening. A little bit of the LA Girl concealer in the color Creamy Beige. This is their Pro Conceal. I'm going to apply a tiny bit underneath the direct portion of my eye, right here, since I do have a little bit of baggage happening. And then right here. I do get a little bit of redness into my cheek area, so that's kind of something that I like to hide and take away, but it also can look really pretty when you're doing a look like this because it kind of can look like a natural blush look. And I'm just going to kind of blend this in with patting motions and dispersing it anywhere I think the rest of my face might need. Just a tiny bit over here just to make it even. But I love these types of looks because honestly, it just looks super pretty. And you want to have those days sometimes where you don't have a full face of makeup. And if you do, then continue rocking it. But the days I do these looks and I absolutely adore it. Like my skin just looks so good. But it's really not a lot of products. I'm gonna keep it with a liquid kind of theme, so we're going in with the same concealer from LA Girl in the color Toast, just to kind of warm up the skin a little bit. Bronzer here, a little bit here, a little bit here. Just gonna be blending it in the way that I always do. I'm going in with just a little bit of the Milk Makeup. This is their matte bronzer stick. A little bit straight on top of that because I feel like it will kind of enhance it a little bit more. And then I'm going to be using the flat edge of this sponge just to kind of push it into my skin. You don't want to bring any lower than where you kind of drew it on. You always want to blend upwards just to give that uplifted effect. Just taking a little bit of the Mercier powder. This is the translucent powder. I'm just going to take it in the cap and just really pat it into the skin, leaving this area bare because I'm going to be applying highlighter there, but we're using a cream-based product for that. So I'm just adding it right here into the nose, flaking it right here. Just pressing and pushing into the skin. Patting motions will do the trick. Just gonna take a little bit of that Milk bronzer, take a brush and kind of pat into it. Onto this brush is a crease brush. So I'm going to wipe off the excess on my hand a little bit and run it into my crease. This is just a natural kind of bronze color. So that's why I'm going to apply it right here into my crease, just to give a light wash of color. A little bit. So for highlighting today, I'm going to be doing a liquid product to kind of stick with the theme of all of the cream-based products we're using. And since we're not using a lot, I don't want to add powder on top of either bare skin or a little bit of concealer. So I just think that can look kind of overpowering and like defeating the purpose. So I'm going in with the liquid one. This is the Ardell Attitude Adjuster, and this one is in the color Golden Sheen. Just going to start applying it to my cheek area, a little bit above my brow, and like that like C motion. My nose. Just gonna spritz on my face with some MAC Fix Plus. Just using a brush now to add a tiny bit more of this highlighter, and then using my finger just to kind of blend it in. For mascara, I'm going in with the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Mascara. I'm gonna put it on my lower lashes first. I'm gonna quickly go in with some lashes. I'm taking these 614s by Salon Perfect. While the lashes are drying, I do wanna go ahead and add a tiny bit of powder bronzer to this initial section because of course we used a cream one, so I don't want that to kind of slide and droop down throughout the day. So I'm just gonna take an angled brush, a little bit of the Tarte Park Avenue Princess palette. Now that I have my lashes all on, I'm just gonna go ahead and coat that with a little bit of the CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara right to the root of the lash, just so it's all coated evenly and it blends. Just gonna take a little bit of the ABH Amrezy highlighter, spray it with some Fix Plus on this small brush, and I'm just applying a little bit into my inner corner and down my nose. For my lips, I'm going in with the Milk Makeup lipstick. This is in the color Skillz. It's a beautiful nude color. And then I like it to be a little bit glossy-like, so I'm taking my Laneige lip mask, just literally a little bit to just make it a little bit more glossy effect. That pretty much wraps up this makeup look. This is my super simple, no foundation makeup. Sometimes we just gotta have a chill makeup look, you know? So this one is literally nothing on the eyes, really, and just mainly focusing on the no foundation skin type of look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe found it a little helpful. If you did, go ahead and let me know down below in the comments. I would love to hear. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.